Hello, I'm Zombee Kat.
And this is Mr. Evilcheese.
And this is our review of a new custom that I made that goes with an old one. Now, you may remember when we reviewed this lady. Her name is Vomit. And her doggy Barf. He's over here. And during that review, I mentioned that when I was working on her, I kept getting carried away and I ended up making something else. So this review is the something else that I made. So I kept buying like a whole bunch of stuff that was way too much to put on Vomit. As you can already see, she's quite accessorized on her person. So I ended up just getting another lady. This is Daisy. I made up like a whole silly backstory for them. But after I decided to get Daisy, I was also waiting for a second dog to come, because when I ordered the one that I made Barf, there was two poses for the same dog, but I didn't want them both to look identical, so that's why I painted this one. And this is the other one that still has his original paint. So
Original.
So then, after I got that dog, I saw another dog that I wanted, and then things just kind of escalated from there. So we'll show you what happened. So, yeah. I bought a whole bunch of dogs. Well, actually, one of them I didn't buy. One of them you gave me because you already had it. That little black. It's supposed to be a French bulldog. Looks more like a Boston Terrier.
Well, that's what I bought it for.
Oh, it was? I thought you just bought it.
No, it was for you, because you were getting the dogs.
So they have a dozen dogs. I haven't named all of them yet. I've only named Barf. But I imagine the ones that Vomit named all have gross names, and the one that the other lady named, her name's Daisy, by the way. I don't know if I said that yet.
Yeah, you said it.
Daisy names them all cutesy names, like Fluffy and Rover. I've actually decided that the big Neapolitan Mastiff, that's going to be Daisy's favorite dog. And her name is Petunia.
It's a good name.
So we got Vomit and Barf and Daisy and Petunia.
And then, 10 other dogs that need names.
Yeah. We have German Shepherd, Neapolitan Mastiff, 2 English Bulldogs. They came as a set. And then these 2 are Staffordshire Terriers, a miniature Schnauzer, 2 French Bulldogs, a Great Dane, a Rottweiler, and a Doberman Pinscher. There's still a few more that I might get at some point. There's like a Beagle and a Shiba Inu and new ones they kept coming out with. I want all of them. I want a Husky. Yeah, I have a problem. I actually bought 2 of the German Shepherds because I put one with my 6-scale power armor to be dog meat. And I think this one, there's a chance I might paint it black. I don't know, I haven't decided yet.
In a way, it don't really matter since they're with different people.
No, but he's got some mess ups on his paint. You can't see him at this angle, but they bother me.
You got Scooby-Doo.
All elite Scooby-Doo.
He's not Scooby-Doo, he's his own person.
I think these were made for John Wick, sort of.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be his dog.
They're often shown with his figure in the preview pictures. This came with some gangster.
Yeah, that one came with a figure, and the rest of these are all Mr. Z sculptures, I guess you would call them.
Yeah. This one we got Monkey Depot parted. They was parted out. So you could just buy him instead of getting the whole figure.
Yeah, they've had a couple other dogs on Monkey Depot that came with figures, and they didn't look very good.
Yeah, there's a few that don't look good at all.
There was like a yellow lab one on there that looked real dumb. We also had an item just laying around that Fu sent us. He sometimes sends us like random 6-scale stuff. And it seemed really appropriate to go with this set, so here it is.
Yeah, that definitely goes with it. Or do they just carry that with them so the dogs have a place to pee?
They have that at their hideout for them to pee on.
Oh, okay.
I picture them living in like a Fallout 4 style vault where they just have the whole place set up for their dogs. Well, I guess we should probably move the dogs out of the way so I can show Daisy off and her other stuff, because she does have other stuff other than dogs. I'm not gonna get into huge super detail, but the backstory I came up with for them is that Vomit and Daisy owned a dog salon together before the apocalypse, and Daisy was the dog trainer. She did like doggy daycare, and Vomit was the groomer.
Is that why Vomit's so angry looking?
Yes, I used to be a dog groomer, and I was angry a lot. But they stuck together after the apocalypse. I thought about making them like adopted sisters, but I think they're just like really good friends. And they hang out together. And Daisy appears to be the nice one, and she's all bubbly, but they're actually both psychotic.
From the apocalypse, or were they psychotic before the apocalypse?
Oh no, they were always nuts.
Oh, okay.
They're just worse now. They don't keep themselves in check anymore.
So they decided to keep raising dogs after the apocalypse started?
They just, like, they had a couple dogs left over, like, that were at their salon when everything went down. And then every time they find a dog, they take it with them. They're just collecting all the dogs. They make their own dog food at their vault.
They have a dog army.
Yep. Some of these dogs would, like, be super useless in the apocalypse and would definitely die if somebody wasn't taking care of them.
Yeah, like bulldogs.
Bulldogs and the little schnauzer, they'd be screwed.
You need a little chihuahua.
No, I don't.
I know you hate chihuahuas, but you need one.
They're evil. I would much rather groom a pit bull any day than a freaking chihuahua. They're so bad.
There's some nice chihuahuas.
The percentage is very low.
Yeah.
There's like one super nice chihuahua out of like every 500.
Well, that's what Daisy's for, to train it into a nice chihuahua.
You can only do so much. I guess we'll start with the head, which was actually a Harley Quinn head.
He has a knockoff Harley Quinn.
Mm-hmm. But I really like expressions. As I said when we were reviewing Vomit, I really like the expression on her, the big smile.
Yeah, that's tough with female heads, because most female heads just have a blank expression or a cutesy smile. And it'd be nice to have more crazy expressions like this, or angry, like hers. They're like Vomit's head. There's not as many.
Yeah, it's slim pickings, which is... We actually ended up with 2 of those heads.
Yeah.
I forget what you did with the other one. I think it stayed Harley.
Yeah, I was going to use it for a Harley head.
But, I repainted her head, because this one also came with a white face. Like Vomit did. I had to paint the skin color on him. And, painted the face paint and everything, put the hair on. And her hair was actually way more frustrating than Vomit's hair, because those 2 little buns on top, I had to rip them off and redo them like 3 times because they just look stupid.
I remember the one time you did the buns, they didn't really look like buns. They just looked like a big thing of hair on top of her head.
Yeah, I had to do it several times to figure out how to do it correctly. But these ones, I actually tied the hair in a knot and then put a rubber band around it and glued the knot onto the top of her head. It worked out pretty well. She's got one little dangly hair here. That's her Clark Kent hair. One of the things I had the most fun with on her was her backpack, which you guys have not seen yet. And I stuck patches all over it. And there's several of them that were like other patches, and I cut out the part that I wanted and stuck it on there.
A lot of times when I was ordering parts from Monkey Depot, you're like, get me that patch. Whenever there's a patch on there.
Dude, I have a whole bunch of patches saved for another project too. I just really like these little tiny patches. They make me happy.
They're pretty cool. And then some of the little buttons.
Like, she has this A+ positive, but for me that means A+ piece of shit.
Looks like a Russian
Yeah.
Soviet Union stuff.
It is. That was just something we had lying around. I don't even know where it came from, but I glued it on there.
But below it there's also the American flag. Mm-hmm. And then Uncle Sam. So she's just like, I found a patch, I'm sticking it on it.
That one's got a UFO. Got a foot. That one just says super. I think it was Super MC. It was like a toy brand or something. So I just cut off the end.
NASA. Middle finger skeleton.
There's a peace sign. Oh, she's got this axe too, and some zip ties sticking up here. There's a canteen in one of the pockets, but I don't feel like getting it out.
Little safety pins, pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I was super excited about those. I wanted them so bad.
Handcuffs.
She's even got a dog muzzle hanging off of there with a carabiner. Oh, and this one's a spaceship. I think it's the Apollo mission patch or something like that.
Another American flag.
Well, there's lots of American flags to choose from on Monkey Depot.
Yeah,
like a ridiculous amount.
Well, they sell a lot of soldier parts.
This one's one of my favorite. Embrace the suck. And then she's got one on the other side that says cunt.
Billy Butcher would be proud. Like a little key necklace.
Yeah, it took me like 4 attempts to make a key necklace, because at first I was going to put them on chain, but the chain was so tiny that trying to put them on there just pissed me off.
And I remember you dropped one of these keys on the floor.
Oh, I dropped it like 8 times. It was every time it was down on the floor with a flashlight trying to find it, and finally I was just like, this is not working. I'm going to do something else. She's got some band-aids on her. There's some on her arms and one on her boobie.
From the Painkiller Jane.
A couple on her belly.
I remember you bought this suit, and then this one-piece suit, and then kind of modified it.
Oh yeah, it had a hood on it, and it also had a piece here that covered this whole area, like from the neck down, that zippered in the middle, and I ripped all that out. It was also really hard to get on her because her butt's too big.
Yeah.
I almost ripped it trying to get it over her butt.
Oh, this is just like Vomit, this is a Fison TB leg body. I think this was from, what was that figure called? Something Killer? Like Phantom Killer or something like that?
It was something like that, yeah.
It was just a body you got at Monkey Depot.
And then this armband, I forget whose armband that was. It's the lady that comes with the stop sign, Dawn, I think.
Probably, I don't know.
I think that was hers. But I actually cut it on the back so you can just kind of put it around there. You don't have to slide it up.
Yeah, I remember the forearm things are from that Zombie Fison. What's her name? Zombie Girl, I think her name was.
Something like that.
I think she's a comic character. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't do anything to those. She's got a little screwdriver here. And a whistle for her doggies.
In a walkie-talkie, so she can call that dog that answers the phone and says, "This is dog."
And then, I don't even know what this thing is, but to me it's like a radiation level monitors. I don't know what it is. It's just some random thing.
Out of the corner of my eye, I think it's a Marlboro pack of cigarettes, and then I look at it, I'm like, oh, wait, that's not cigarettes.
Actually, I did have a cigarette and a lollipop for them, and I don't know where they went.
I don't know.
I can't find them. I thought they were with theirs, because I have everything in little baggies, and I can't find those.
No, so you added some knee pads.
Yeah, those are uncustomized too. I didn't do anything to them. But then the boots, I had a lot of fun lacing those boots. I wanted to do crazy laces.
These are the same boots I use for my Clementine custom.
You did custom laces on yours too.
Yeah.
But they weren't weird.
Yeah. Well, I had to make them exactly like hers, but you did your own thing, which is cool.
On her head, I ripped all of her hair out and put new hair on. So this is custom hair.
That's once again the Tibetan lamb fur.
This one's a little bit more curly back here than Vomit's is. I wanted it to be kind of floofy, poofy.
Oh, you just have foam in there, don't you?
Yeah. The book bag originally had a flap on the top, but I didn't like it. And it didn't hang right on her, so I actually glued the straps to the bag so that it would sit right on her back, because it was like hanging weird. And then I stuffed it with foam. And this is Daisy's weapon of choice. Got I don't know what model gun this is.
I think it's an AK.
I think so, but somebody will probably be like, no, it's actually the thing. And I'm like, I don't care.
It's an AK.
This thing moves, but it's covered in glue. But yeah, after I named her Daisy, I decided to put little daisies all over her gun and paint it all goofy, because that seems like something she would do. I tried painting the daisies on at first, and they looked like absolute shit. So I had Mr. Evilcheese print me out daisies on sticker paper, and I cut them out with an X-Acto and stuck them on there, which was still a pain in the ass, but looked a lot better. I also painted this gun 3 times before I was happy with it. The first 2 times, I didn't like it and took all the paint back off with nail polish remover because I hated it. It was actually the last thing that I finished out of all her stuff.
I'm almost thinking like Daisy is like Bubbles, and Vomit is like Blossom from Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah, kind of.
Or not
Maybe I
Blossom.
should make a third one.
Buttercup. Buttercup, I meant, yeah.
I need to make a third one.
Yeah.
Now, another thing that I made for them that's very random, but Mr. Evilcheese bought me a 6-scale propane tank, and I customized it with a little sticker with rust around it. Seems like something they might have sitting around for some reason. We'll throw it at somebody and shoot it and it blows up. I don't know. I had fun making that little sticker and painting it. And then I also made, because they had so much stuff, I decided to make this box to put it in. And this was a box that you already had sitting around. We're using it.
I think it came with the same figure that this suit came with.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I scratched it all up and put paint over it. I used brown paint to darken it, and then put the green around the bottom like it's been sitting somewhere rotten. Mm-hmm. And you can see it's got lots of scratched upness all over it. And even the lid. And then we open it up, and there's a bag of hands in there.
That's a weird thing to keep in there. What are they, serial killers?
Yep. We got, oh, that's Vomit's bat. I've already seen that. And that's, get off of there. Her rocket launcher.
Vomit's rocket launcher?
Yep. And they made a bunch of dog leashes.
I remember you were looking up different ways to make them.
Yeah, I was looking up friendship bracelets because I was making dog leashes. I had fun with these. There's not one for every dog because fuck that. It's too much work.
And some you can't even put a collar on them like the laying down bulldog.
Well, I actually made a bunch of their collars. There's ones that are just like belts that I bought, but I made a bunch of them, and I made like three or four of their bandanas.
I remember this was just a bracelet, a Halloween bracelet.
Yeah, that was a bracelet from Party City, and I cut it and glued it and made it into a collar. Actually, the only one that's wearing the collar it came with is that little French bulldog you bought me.
Oh, is that?
Mm-hmm. He came with that on him. This one was hard because he has all these folds, but he has like a path for his collar to go into, but they had a big gold chain on him that I didn't like, so I cut leather and like jammed it down in there and glued it. It was like cut and glued in there. This glue mark was already there. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The Schnauzer's collar, I actually made it a functioning show collar, like a choke chain. It actually slips through. You can pull it out. They also have this little Nestle candy bar that I bought. It's an old-fashioned looking one, but
Looks like it's 1940-ish.
whatever. I liked it.
Yeah.
It's even got the little printing on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Mr. Evilcheese was having fun going insane making all of his ridiculous amount of Clementine stuff. He made some stuff for me for my puppies. Oh,
I didn't make that. Well, I
customized it.
Yeah, I weathered it. That's all I did to it.
That was from the minis, right?
Yeah, sent us, or our friend Casey gave us a bunch of Barbie stuff.
And then I got 2 cans.
2 cans and
Of Dinky-Dee.
it's a Mad Max can of food.
And then, what about these ones? Did you make these?
Yeah, I made them.
We got Scooby Snacks. A little bag of them. And a little bag of wholesome medium variety dog bones.
I don't think I gave that one to Clementine.
Now, it's been long enough, me collecting all this, that I really wanted to do the review, but there's still some stuff that I might do in the future. I want to get some more dog accessories, like some food dishes and stuff. And we were talking about making, like these, but like a big bag of dog food. Even though, who knows where they'd find big bags of dog food in the apocalypse, but I want one.
Yeah, when I was making accessories for Clementine, I was looking up when stuff would be no longer edible. Mm-hmm. And even some of the stuff I gave Clementine, like some of that stuff would have been expired and you shouldn't eat it. But I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah.
And like I looked at bag of dog food and they're supposed to last between 1 year and 2 years, which I'd imagine that they're way after that. But so what? It'd be cool to have a big pack of dog food for them. Mm-hmm. And there could be some place that's in the apocalyptic future that specializes in dog stuff and makes dog food.
Well, I even said in their little vault place that they have, they make their own dog food, so maybe they put it in bags like that.
Yeah.
We could make one that looks like a paper bag with the dog face just drawn on it. And the ingredients are scribbled on the back in big handwriting.
Daisy draws the design on every single one. Mm-hmm. By hand.
Another thing I was thinking about doing is making a doggy bed for this guy, because I think that would be really cute. Because that's all he ever does. He never gets up.
I never noticed his one eyeball's closed. Mm-hmm.
He's winking at you with his tongue out. Well, that's a pretty accurate portrayal of an English bulldog. They're either doing this or that. That's it.
Or riding a skateboard.
Yeah. And I probably will come up with names for them all eventually. I just haven't yet.
Unprepared.
Sorry. I guess I could show you the leashes that I made individually. This is the first one that I made. It's just chain. Little piece of leather for the handle.
I like that chain. It's a little weird look, like different. Mm-hmm. Just the way they shape the links.
And they all have a little lobster clasp on the end, like for a bracelet. So I could actually clip these on their collars if I wanted to. And here's a little simple one. It's just braided. And then I got a little bit more complicated and did this one. There's a string down the middle, and then I used a string that comes braided, like it looks like this, and wrapped it all around. And that's when I started looking up friendship bracelets and made these. This one's very stiff because I had to glue it because it kept coming loose.
The way they look reminds me of those dog rope toys.
Yeah, a little bit. This one's all fancy with a spiral. And then these two, I think, look the most like actual dog leashes. It was hard to figure out how to put a handle on them, though. And this one's got a little paw print on it. This one's my favorite. I like that pattern. And it was a very huge pain in the butt to do that. It took me like an hour to braid this.
It looks hard.
I had to make like a little bracelet loom to do it on. You can't just do it with your hands.
Because you kept mentioning Fallout, I was imagining that Cogsworth or whatever his name is.
Cosworth?
With a whole bunch of arms walking all the dogs. With
Oh,
all
that would be so funny.
with all them leashes.
It's just like, oh dear. These animals are very rambunctious.
And because he's floating, I imagine they'd tug him all over the place.
Yep. Although he does have a flame coming out of the bottom of them, so he might like singe their tails.
Yeah. The little dogs come back all burned up.
I wanted to mention that I originally bought this because I was going to put it on one of the dogs, but it didn't really fit any of them correctly, and it's very fragile. Like, parts of it have already ripped. You can see there's a rip there. So I decided to just hang it on here. She keeps it just in case. In case one of the dogs gets out of line, or they find a new dog that's not in a good mood.
Yeah.
Right now it looks like she's going to shoot that Great Dane in the head.
Yeah, it does.
I don't like that. Don't shoot the dogs. Well, I couldn't find their cigarette, like I said before, but I borrowed one from Tyler Durden. So that's her cigarette holding hand. I bought like a set of hands that all came together that I used for both of them. I think there's actually 2 sets. But this hand just looked like a good hand for holding a lollipop or a cigarette, so that's why I decided to get the cigarette in the first place, was just because I had this hand.
Yeah.
Because I picture her, like, talking while it's burning in her fingers with a big old ash on it, like a Jersey mother or something.
It almost seems like Vomit should be the cigarette smoker and Daisy's the lollipop sucker.
Yeah, they can both do both.
Well, I guess. I bet Vomit just bites it. A 1, a 2, a 3.
There she is holding a lollipop. Borrowed that from Juliet.
From Lollipop Chainsaw.
And they also have this hand, which is very similar, which would also be good for holding either one of those. And here they are with all of their stuff. I set them up so they're using some of the leashes, which took a while. I probably won't actually use the leashes that much. I just wanted to make them.
Well, that's what I did with Clementine.
Dude, there's so many dogs. And the big ones, like the Great Dane and the Mastiff and the Rottweiler, they're really heavy. So I actually ended up having 2 showcases next to each other with them spread out across the shelves that are at the same level, because I was afraid if I put them all on the same shelf that the glass would break.
Mm-hmm.
They're really, really heavy.
Yeah, I imagine it would break eventually. I don't know.
I mean, there's literally a dozen dogs. And I'll probably get more.
I've seen that picture of all them statues that crashed through.
I don't ever want to experience that. The picture made me want to cry.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty happy with how they turned out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
I had a lot of fun making them. It took forever. Once I got into it more, though, it went quicker.
Yeah, it's easy to keep putting off.
Mm-hmm. Plus, with them being random, I just kept finding more stuff. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get some of this, and some of this, and some of this.
Well, they turned out really cool. I like the little backstory.
I'm just, like, I really like my girls, but I also really like all my doggies.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess that's everything. Any final remarks?
No. I like them a lot. And all the doggies, too. I really like having them dogs. They just all look really cool.
Yeah, I've always been very fascinated by all the different breeds, especially spending time as a groomer. But even before that, I grew up on a farm with all kinds of animals. I always liked all the different breeds. It was fun having a whole bunch of dogs. Anyway, well, I guess that's it. So, I'm Zombie Kat.
And it's Mr. Cheese.
Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Hey, Vomit. So, when I was out scouting today, I found another dog. And, can we keep him?
Of course we can keep it, as long as you find enough food to feed it. Bring it in here. What kind of dog is it?
Alright, come here, boy. Come here. It's another Doberman. Isn't he cute?
What the fuck is that?
Come here, boy. Over here. Don't listen to her. She's mean.
Where the fuck did you find a zombie dog? This isn't even a zombie apocalypse. It's just a regular apocalypse.
He was in this weird lab place that was, like, underground. And he's not a zombie. He's just got some boo-boos. He's fine. He'll heal.
Alright, fine. You can keep him. But if he drips blood on the floor, you're cleaning it up.
Oh, he won't be no trouble. He's a good boy. Who's your good boy? Is it you? Yes. Yes, it is.
Hey everyone, it's Clementine from The Walking Dead, and you are watching Mr. Evilcheese and Zombie Kat. Don't be a shitbird and subscribe already. Do it. Thanks.